Hi, good evening folks. In this video, let's take a look at Rasmus Dahlin. What do we do? Do we go bridge? Do we go long term? Coming up. Okay, I wanted to discuss this because it's just a video idea I had recently that I wrote down just so I wouldn't forget, because I forget things. And the idea of Dahlin. Now, we know he had basically a bad year. He showed some promise under Granado, and that was about it last year. His numbers were bad. His plus-minus was terrible. His defensive play was awful. But what do we do if we get a very healthy offer to him for, let's say, long-term? And I've been the first one to say I don't want 7, 8-year deals, but he's the only exception to the rule, I believe, in our entire roster right now. He's the only guy right now that I would say we could offer the max term if the number's friendly. What would that number be, I ask you guys? Because I don't want to get locked in somewhere like a crazy number, like 8 times 8 or something. That would be just insane, because what if, what if? There's the what if. What if we're wrong? Like we were about Skinner, right? No, I think what we have to do is look at the number, obviously, and make a decision. Do we go long term? Now, the one good thing I would say, let's say we get locked in long term with Dahlin and he has another bad year next year, hypothetically, okay? That's a big if, because I think under Granado, there's a good chance he'll thrive next year. Now, what if next season we go in, okay, he has a bad year, do we panic and trade him? I don't want that either. I don't want that. And that's the problem with him having a high cap, is that the play is expected to go up there too. That's what I'm thinking. And then all of a sudden he becomes expendable, we trade him, he becomes a Hall of Famer somewhere else. That's how giving this kid a lot of money can backfire in our face. Just look what's going on with Jack. It's a different scenario with Jack, of course. Jack did produce, his numbers were okay. Weren't great, but they were good. Whereas Dahlin, if Dahlin goes off the charts this year, then okay, it was a brilliant signing and everything just falls into place and we have, our cornerstone player, because that is what Dahlin is now. He's obviously our franchise player, guys. He is. So what do we do? I ask you guys. I mean, I'd like to hear all of you on this one, because I'm as lost as anybody, really, because we're throwing the dice by, I get it, by giving him a bridge deal like some of you have said, yes, but I prefer to roll the dice myself, because we've been burned so many times with bad contracts. And maybe we're due to get one right, I get that too. I don't know. This is a tough one, because he seems to have the right attitude. He seems to want to play in Buffalo, all of it. All of it's good. And it's not as high risk to give him max term as it is anybody else in this team. He's the only guy, really. And the only other guy I can think of eventually maybe will be a guy like Dylan Cousins, and Owen Power, if he hopefully works out, and all these guys, and Mittelstadt, if he works out. And that's why I'm thinking right now, Mittelstadt, I think it's healthy that we go with a bridge, because he had one good spurt last year for the first time in his career, and no, it's not worth long term, no. Whereas Dahlin, we've seen under Housley how offensively gifted the kid can be too. Now, we got to straighten him out. That's our job. That's not all on him. That's our job too, is to fix him defensively and to let him thrive offensively all at the same time, because that's his game. We got to leave him loose. I do understand that. Really, I do. I might harp on the kid about his defensive play, but I do understand 100% we have got to let a kid like Dahlin loose for him to thrive and succeed in this league. No doubt. Doesn't mean we can't fix him and help him along the way also, though, I don't know. This is a tough one. God, this is a tough one. I'm so against long-term deals, but that could just be my own paranoia, you know? I might be kicking myself saying, God, we should have signed this kid in that when we could have. You know, there's been a few of you that have said, Wayne, we should lock him in long-term, 7 million, whatever. You know, I would think 7 would be the sweet spot if we got him for 8 years, you know, because we see how crazy the market's gone with defensemen. You know what I mean? He could be our future, signing like in Colorado, like Nathan McKinnon. They've had that friendly deal going forever, right? This could be our friendly deal 4 or 5 years down the line. Everybody could be talking, my God, the Sabres just were smart locking him in years ago, like, you know, when he's dominating the league. Because I do believe that Rasmus Dahlin will dominate the league eventually. I really do. So, yeah, maybe we should lock him in long term, eh? Oh, this is a tough one. We got the money now. It's easy to do. We might not have this opportunity. Opportunities right in front of us. We got cash. We got... You know, we're loaded with cap space right now. Now's the time we can max out Dahlin, I'm thinking, and not feel it. You get what I'm saying? Might be the smart way to go, guys. Seriously. You know, I could be dead wrong this time about like needing to get this guy locked in. Now I'm kind of on that side now where I'm kind of with some of you guys that, you know, there's been some that, you know, I get it's a 50-50 split, but I'm kind of leaning towards getting him in long term while we can. And that way that's out of the way, that problem. We don't have to worry about that, you know? And let's face it, he ever demands a trade one day, we'll get a deal easy for him. Especially if it's a healthy deal. You know? Where do you guys stand? Help. Help me. Because I'm all over the place with this. I am. I want to do it. I'd like to see them, because that would show a sign of strength also. You know, to our younger players, our pipeline, guys like Power that are just coming in. You know what I mean? And I don't know. These are things, and I don't think Power is going to be here this year. But I do believe Power will get some time in our lineup this year. You know. This is a tough one, you know? This is a tough one because our draft picks are watching. And if they say, wow, they really just believe in this guy. Once the Sabres believe in you, they take care of you. That's healthy, you know? We can't bridge everything. So I'm going to go on record saying, 7, you know, let's go. If we can get 8 times 7, and I know that's a little under his value, long term, you know, would he do it? Because we've seen the ridiculous contracts that just went out there for defensemen, guys. Ridiculous contracts. What's Dahlin going to be worth? You know what I mean? My guess is Dahlin might want to take less term. But if we can get him 8 times, say 7.5, that's going to be the number I throw at you guys. Would you do it? Should we do it? 60 million, right? For 8 years. How's that going to look in 5 years from now when some of these guys might be getting 12? If the cap flies up again. I still can't believe what the defensemen are making in this free agency. It's unbelievable. So that's what's kind of hit me with this trend in my head, is I watched what happened with Dougie Hamilton and Seth Jones, and I'm like, let's face it, we know Dahlin's going to be better eventually. I'll just put that right out there. He's going to be better. We got to lock him in. Okay, I'm going to go on the record, the hell with it. Yes, I'm going against the grain, but only for him, nobody else. Nobody else. Nobody. Unless we got a cornerstone goalie like a, you know, like a wanted Carter Hart, or if we got some big goaltending young kid, yes, different story, but we don't have that right now. UPL's still developing. Can't go there. Of course, you know, it's not time for that, unless we pull some sort of shaft and throw an offer sheet like I'm saying. So, yes or no? I ask you guys, this is the offer. we sign Dahlin 8 years to $7.5 million a year? Yes or no? You guys tell me. See you in the next video.